Anyway, today I'm supposed to talk about the shift from print to digital. But actually, it's not really the shift from print to digital because we're still in print. But what we've done is we've become a bigger company. It's the ABS-CBN lifestyle ecosystem. And ABS handles the masa. We're the ones who handle the upscale. So we have 3 target markets: upscale male, upscale female, and the millennials. And we try to reach all of these 3 markets across all platforms, whether it's print, TV, radio, cable, events, digital, whatever we need to do to reach these 3 markets. Okay, I'll just talk a little bit about, here's some of the magazines that we still have in print. Metro Society for the upscale, and we also have Metro Home and Metro Weddings. All of our other titles we've already closed because the shift from print to digital has happened so quickly. We were very fortunate in our company that we were able to reorganize. And if I'm just going to summarize very quickly how to successfully shift from print to digital or to become a digital company, all you really need is to have really good people working with you. And this morning I want to introduce you to 2 of the people I work with who are excellent. And he's very embarrassed now. Paolo Pineda, our Managing Director. Please stand up so that you can connect with him later. And also Mark Yambot. He's head of our books and digital division. Tayo ka naman, Mark, para makilala ka. Ayan, he's shy. So, we are still into our books. There's Stupid is Forever, Stupid is Forevermore, and then this Dear Alex, Break na Kami, Paano, Love Kathy. This sold about over 100,000 copies. And the interesting thing about it is we thought that books and magazines would just die. But we were surprised kasi we found out that a lot of the young people are still buying books. And earlier I was talking to Jo Marie, and we discussed, why are kids still buying books? I thought that they just read it on their iPad or read it on their phones. But we found 2 reasons at least that come to mind. One reason is, when you give a gift, it's nicer when you give a print book. Because when you send a book digitally, it's like you just send someone an email. So parang walang dating. But when you get them a book, you wrap it, they're actually holding something. The second reason is when a millennial gets a book, the minute after he reads it, he puts it on his bookshelf. It becomes a trophy. No one ever throws away a trophy. Many people will throw away their magazines, but books they don't throw away, they keep it. So right now I handle the ABS-CBN lifestyle ecosystem. So we deal with upscale women, and the brands we have there are Metro.style, we have Metro Magazine, and we have Metro Society, Weddings, Home, and Food. And we have our Metro website. For the men, we have ANCX. So we do the lifestyle of ANC. It's called ANCX, and we have a block on ANC for the weekends. And for the youth, the millennials, we have Chalk.ph, we have Hero, we have No Ink, which is a reader app, and we have Choose Philippines. I'll let you see a little video right now that will give you a better idea of what we are doing across the whole group.
Indulge in the ultimate lifestyle experience as we give you an all-access pass to exclusive, well-curated, and inspiring content made for your well-styled life. Take it all in with a click of a button, a flip of the pages, or a tap of the finger. For your ultimate source of lifestyle on-air content, the all-new Metro channel. For a 360 experience made accessible anytime, anywhere. Metro.style. Witness the strength and synergy of all Metro brands as part of a bigger lifestyle ecosystem with the latest edition of the ANCX brand. This is the ABS-CBN lifestyle ecosystem.
As you can see, we've really transitioned. We're doing a lot of different things, but one of the things that we didn't want to lose track of in our shift going multi-platform was basically ABS-CBN, we're storytellers. We tell our story, we tell other people's story, we help our advertisers tell their story, we help other companies tell their story. I want to show you a quote from Peter Guber. Any of you attended the Peter Guber event by ANCX? Any of you attend? No one? Okay, Peter Guber, he's the producer of movies like all of the Batman movies. He also produced Soul Surfer. He produced, what's the other movie he produced? Color Purple? Okay, Color Purple. And how many of you are Warriors fans? Any Warriors fans here? Yeah, go Warriors! I love the Warriors. He's part owner of the Warriors. So he said something very interesting when he was here in Manila last January. He said, stories are emotional transportation devices that move people to action. And I'll tell you a couple stories that really illustrate this point. Stories are emotional transportation devices. I'd like to talk to you about Iba Zambales. 20 years ago, Mount Pinatubo erupted and all of the Aitas had to move out. My sister Gina got them, brought them to Iba Zambales, relocated them, and put them in this big farm. So they gave them housing, tried to give them livelihood, but it's been very difficult for us because it costs us millions every year to support this because they haven't found a way to make money. So it's been very expensive for us. But something happened. An individual from the US came over to us and said, look, I would like to hire all the people on your land. I will be your partner. I will build infrastructure on your land, and I will harvest essential oils. So, and essential oils is a booming business. How many of you use essential oils? Okay, yeah, so many. Di ba? Get a headache or anything, it's these essential oils. What brand do you use? Local? What's the name? Calming oil? Organic? Anybody, any other brand? Any of you use the imported brands? Young Living. The guy I met who's going to take over Zambales, our farm in Zambales, is a supplier to Young Living. Okay? And what this guy said to me was amazing. He said, do you know that the essential oils we produce in the Philippines are better than anywhere else in the world? We have essential oils that can only be produced here. And even if they take our plants and put it somewhere else, the yield is not as good as when it's done here. It's much better here. The yield, the quality is much better here. The interesting thing though is what this friend of mine said. He said, you know, some people, they take the oil and they don't process it here so that the people here don't make the money. And you can get it cheaper from these people who smuggle the plants out and the oil out. But Young Living decided they will pay 2 to 3 times more for the story. What story? Because the guy who's building this place in Zambales, he said, because I'm having a positive impact on the society, because his main motivation, he wants to make money, but actually his real motivation is he wants to have social impact. So when he supplies the oils to Young Living, he's telling them, I'm helping people get jobs, I'm raising their standard of living, and the supply chain has integrity. It's organic, there's no child labor, and because of this, he's able to charge 2 to 3 times more than all of the other smugglers. What I'm trying to say is, a good story is worth 2 to 3 times the price. You can make more money when you have a good story. Now, I'm going to get a little personal now. I will tell you another story because what I said earlier was, what Peter Goober said was, stories are emotional transportation devices that move people to action. And that's what we all want. We want people to be moved to action, to buy our products. I just want to give you a personal story that shows how powerful stories are. These are my children. Yeah, they look like their mom. They don't look like me. They're good looking. That's my son, Nathan. I've got twin girls, Isis and Sabrina. Isis was named before, Al-Qaeda was formed. It's a long time ago. When she introduces herself, she says, "Hi, my name is Isis. I'm not a terrorist." And with her name, akala ko, simpleng pangalan niya. She's such a simple name, you can't mess it up. When we went through immigration, she said, the immigration officer saw her passport and said, "Nasaan si Is?" Wala pa rin. Patay pa rin. Anyway, my son is now 17, but when he was 14, 3 years ago, he had a really big falling out with his mom. I mean, I can't talk about the details in a forum like this, but it was really, really bad. And it was so bad that they didn't talk to each other for 3 years. My wife and I are separated. He decided to live with me. And it was horrible. It was so horrible that I would pray and I say, God, I pray that my wife and my son would reconcile, because the amount of anger and hurt and hatred was just too much. And he refused to talk to his mom. He didn't want to see his mom. He didn't want to be in the same room with her. He was just so angry and so hurt. But he ended up talking to these people here. Her name is Jorn, and his name is AJ. I met these people last May. I went to Hawaii on May 2, and I stayed there until May 18. And in my 2 weeks there, I call it the Hawaiian miracle, because Jorn and AJ, how much time do I have? No, I just want to check because I don't want to go over time. Jorn and AJ's story really affected my son in a way that I could never have imagined. I don't have permission to tell what happened between my son and my wife, but I have permission from Jorn and AJ to talk about what happened to them. Jorn was I'll try and make the story a little shorter, I'll summarize it, but Jorn was abandoned by her parents, by her mom. Her mom abandoned her and didn't see her for 13 years, didn't write, didn't call, didn't send emails, didn't send money, nothing. Jorn was left with the sister of the mom, okay, and she grew up with the sister of the mom. But when she turned 13, the mother in the States, who left her, went to the States, said, "Jorn, come to the States, I'll work on your visa, and maybe you can also become a citizen." So she went to the States, okay? When she went to the States, she was exposed to her mother's lifestyle. And her mother was seeing a lot of different men, okay? And it was sad because what happened was Jorn actually got molested by one of these men. Raped, molested, and I don't know how many times it happened, but it was bad. So she ran away from home. She left. She escaped. She hid. And my friend Rayo, Rayo and Neneng. Neneng is the sister of Jorn's mother. Rayo and Neneng are my friends. They're the ones who hosted me in Hawaii. They didn't know where Jorn was. She just disappeared. After a year, she called up my friend Rayo and said, "Dad, it's good to hear your voice." And Rayo said, "Well, anak, it's good also to hear your voice. We've been worried about you. You've been gone for so long. We love you. We miss you. We've been concerned." And then Jorn said, "Dad," she started crying. And she said, "Dad, I'm pregnant." And sorry if I get a little emotional. But my friend, Rayo, he's like the best dad I know. Most dads would have said, "Ano ka ba? I didn't raise you this way. Why are you're gone for a year and then you tell me you're pregnant? What's wrong with you? Why are you like that? I didn't raise you this way." Diba? But what Rayo said was, he said, "Anak, you have a child. That's a blessing. Praise the Lord. You have a kid." And this affected her. Rayo is the way I would like to be. I'm trying to work on being like Rayo. Because he's like a good dad. He's a safe place. She didn't get a lecture. She didn't get anger. He was just a safe place. That's why all of these kids know when they have a problem, they can go to their dad Rayo. Because he's a safe place. He loves us unconditionally. Sadly, she got pregnant, but her relationship with the dad, her boyfriend, didn't last. He was a Mexican guy, and she hooked up with someone else, a Irish-American guy, got pregnant again. So dalawa ng anak niyang panganay, both girls. Okay, and the story of Jorn really impacted on my son. And I'll talk very quickly about AJ. AJ met Jorn about maybe 3 years ago, and he's a recovering heroin addict. And she met AJ and Jorn met because Jorn is a medical assistant and he was in rehab, so nakakilala sila. And they actually fell in love. And AJ called up my friend Rayo and said, I want to meet you because I want to ask for your blessings. Your daughter has had an impact on my life. I've been a heroin addict. I've been clean for 6 months, but I want to meet you. So my friend Rayo said, "Yeah, I'll go see you." And he went to Vegas. The wife of Rayo, Neneng, was going crazy already, saying, "Ano ka ba? Huwag kang papayag, ha? Drug addict yan. Ano mangyayari? She's already made so many mistakes with her life. Don't let her marry that guy." And Rayo just said, "Cool ka lang. Relax, I'll take care of this." He went to Vegas, and he met AJ, and when he talked to AJ, he said, when do you want to marry my daughter?" And then AJ said, "I want to marry her in 6 months to a year." And then my friend said another weird thing again. He said, "Why don't you marry her today?" And everybody got shocked. He said, You're already living together. I want the blessing of God on your marriage, so why don't you get married? But I only have 3 conditions. Number 1, you give your life to Jesus Christ. Number 2, you move here to Hawaii, because Rayo lives in Hawaii, because you have a better environment than Vegas. And then number 3, I want you to take this DTS. DTS is a program offered by YWAM, and it's a 6-month program. It just tells you how to live a good life. He said, "I want you to take this program because after you're done with this program, anywhere you go, you will be okay." And AJ said yes to all of this. And AJ was actually an atheist because he had such a bad life. And my son saw himself in both of them. I just have to tell you something about AJ. Mukha ba siyang mabait? He looks like a nice guy, right? He looks like a really nice guy. He is a nice guy. But that guy is the Hulk. He's really the Hulk. He's 190 pounds. He's 6 foot. But when this guy gets angry, nandidilim siya. He can't see any, parang, he doesn't know what he's doing. He can't even remember what he's doing. One time somebody made him hamon to a fight. Said, you know, they wanted to fight him. You know what AJ did? He started punching the wall. He said, wait, you want to fight me? Wait. He started punching the wall until all of his knuckles were bloody. And then he started hitting his head on a car. Banging his head on a car until his whole face was bloody. After his knuckles were bloody and his face was bloody, he looked at the guy and said, okay, now let's fight. Diba? Wild, diba? This guy is really bananas. He's really, he's done things that I can't say in public. But my son could feel, he said, Dad, I feel this guy's anger. All of the things that I wanted to do, this guy did it. All the anger I have, I could feel it. And this picture was taken in Kona. And Jorn talked to my son on May 14. It was a Tuesday. And we were leaving Kona the next day, on Wednesday. And what happened was, I let Jorn talk to my son. And she told her story. When I went to pick them up, they were all crying. My son was crying, Jorn was crying, even my daughter Sabrina was crying. And I said, why are you crying? At the end of this trip, I was supposed to go back to Manila with my son Nathan. My 2 girls were supposed to go to San Francisco because they were going to tour around the States with their mom in an RV. And then what happened was, they were all crying, and Jorn looked to me and said, your son has decided to go to San Francisco to be with his mom. I couldn't believe it. I said, are you serious? I looked at Nathan, I said, are you serious? He goes, yes, Dad. What happened during their conversation was, after all of the stories, Jorn and my son, they both realized they were so alike. They're both estranged from their mother. And they both decided to reach out to their mother. This is the first picture that my 3 children, all together with their mom, have had in 3 years. This was taken in San Francisco, and when I received this picture, I arrived in Manila on a Saturday. On Sunday morning, I received this picture. They were all together. I just knelt down on the floor of my room, I cried, and I said, God, thank you. You did the impossible. They haven't talked in 3 years, and now they're together. My hashtag for this was hashtag nothing is impossible, hashtag God answers prayer, hashtag wala si Thanos kay Lord. Kasi wala talaga. And it was a miracle, okay? And this miracle happened because of stories. Stories are really powerful. I'll end this with a Facebook post of my son. He took a picture of his mom, he posted it, and then I'll let you read what he said. We've had history, I got mad, you felt bad, but we learned to forgive each other. I learned to see her beauty. I'm gonna cry. I learned to see her beauty once more. Love you, Mom. And just a few months ago, I was telling my son, it was my mom's 88th birthday. I said, I hope that one day you can tell your mom how much you love her, and the love I have for my mom, I hope you can have that for your mom. And it happened. There, June 23, he posted it. So stories are powerful, and I hope you can tell us your story, we can tell you our story, and we can help tell each other stories. Thank you very much.